Hey guys, Daniel here, welcome back to the Dan's Garage. Today we're doing the first job on my Klx project bike, and that's going to be moving the breathers and relocating the crankcase breather as well. So we're going to move the two carb breathers. Currently they're around about this height here. So what would happen if you went through water and it blocked the bottom of that breather? The carb would no longer be able to breathe and the engine would die pretty much instantaneously. So what we want to do is lift the breathers as high as we can up in the bike, so ideally somewhere up under here, under the fuel tank. And with the crankcase breather, which I've got in my hand here, you'll see that pipe there is what, maybe 15, 18 mil, something like that in the middle. It actually gets reduced down to maybe 4 or 5 mil inside there. There's a plastic piece that reduces it down. So we want to get rid of this pipe completely. And I'm just going to run a straight hose up into the airbox and have a wee filter on the end of it, just like that. The reason you do this is if you're trying to kickstart the bike, the downward pressure of the piston is pushing against this little 4 mil hole, so you're increasing your crankcase pressure with that there, which makes it a wee bit harder to kick. So ideally by moving this up, it should make it a wee bit easier to kick and help me start the bike. So first up, we're going to remove the fuel tank, and to do that we'll have to remove these side pieces and then a bolt there, and the tank will come off and we can route the breather up that way. In fact, the side fairings are just held on with 3 8mm bolts each side, and then the fuel tank's just another 3 8mm. On, off and reserve, so just make sure it's in the off position, which should be that way. There's a wee arrow here. And now we want to remove this hose that's on the carby. So if we take off the 2 8mm holding the fuel tap to the frame, and that should come up with the tank. Right, you'll see on this side where the carb breather should be, there's actually no carb breather there on this side. And you'll see where the crankcase breather should be there. I've obviously removed that. And it goes into, it's hard to see there, but there's a wee hole in the bottom of the airbox under there that it goes into. Right, if we try and get... Now a lot of people would tee these into one. But I don't have a T-piece. So I'm just going to route this along here and just come up into the frame here. This one I might have to cut off, it's pretty hard. Nice. A lighter. This is just 6mm clear hose. It may not stand up to the fuel vapours if there is any. I'm not sure, but I'm just going to try it anyway. Right, cool. Right, so all I'm going to do is run it along, following this wiring harness up here. I'm just going to cable tie it to the wiring harness. Might actually drop it just down in front of just behind the radiator there actually. Right, I'll just cut these off and then I'll show you where they are. So they now both come up here and they both terminate just sort of at the top of the radiators there, just behind them. So as far as water crossings go now, that's gone from this site here up to this site here, so that's massive. And obviously this site here is well above the airbox anyway, so if you were at this height you would have other issues, but it's much better than this height. Right, so next up I need to sort out this breather here. So that's where the crankcase breather comes out of. Like I said, I can't really show you where it goes in, but there's a big hole in the airbox there. I need to block that hole off. Now it's quite a massive hole. It's around about a 16mm hole, so I've got this M16 bolt here, which I'm planning to, it's a pretty good fit in there. I don't obviously want the whole bolt in there, so I'm just going to cut a portion of this thread off and stick that in there with a little bit of sealer around it. This hole here is after the filter, so any air that gets sucked in there is going straight into the engine, but it's not being filtered. So you want to have a good seal on there. Right, so I've cut a wee bit of this bolt off here. I'm just going to put some black sealer around it, which is just going to seal it. And then we're going to push this in into the hole. I'm going to wipe the sealer over the end of it there. That sealer is going to help it slide in and also stop it from coming back out as well. Right, you can see it there. So that's just like basically a rubber hole, and I'll just put that in there, put some sealer over the end of it, and put that spring clip on. That'll be perfect. Right, next we need to try and get this hose. Right, so I moved that regulator out of the way, and I have got a hairdryer to heat this up. I should be able to get that one in now, surely. Two reasons I went for this hose, even though it's slightly small, was it's all I had, and it's the size of it's the same size as the filter that I've got, which I already had as well. Right, hopefully I've been able to expand this enough. It's bloody close to going down there. I think that is going to be the best that I will get it. It's probably about 3/4 of the way down. Right, I can get the stock clip on there fine, which is good. Yeah, so just something like that into the airbox, and I will put a cable tie probably around the frame just right there. And just one of these little filters here. And these filters are obviously cleanable and oilable. Right guys, that's the first job on the KLX done. The breathers for the carb moved, and the crankcase breather moved also. Now that's meant to make it a bit easier to kick. I did actually get it running without the breather hose on there, and it probably was a little bit easier to kick. It wasn't a massive difference, but probably is something. So that's the first mod on the KLX done. I'm not going to put the tank back on that on just yet, because I probably will be doing valve clearances. Yeah, so anyway guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys next time. See ya.